Hello everyone, it's time to check out Google Jules, a very new exciting code assist tool in the market. So what is this Jules? So Jules is an asynchronous code assist tool which can help you write code, develop new features, write unit test cases, fix bugs, do documentation and all of that stuff. If you are wondering how is it different from all of the other agents and tools available in the market like GitHub Copilot, Cursor AI and stuff, before I talk all of that boring stuff, let me quickly show you how Google Jules works in reality so that you get first-hand experience to look at how to use Google Jules. So once we do the demo, we will talk about how it is different from Copilot and everything.
Getting started with Google Jules is pretty easy. All you have to do is just visit the site jules.google.com, and the first time when you do it, you will be presented with a privacy notice which you'll have to continue and accept. Once you do that, you will end up in a page like this where you will be given the option to add a repository. So basically you have to connect your repository with Google Jules. So once you click add repository, you will end up in a page like this where you have to authorize Google Jules to connect and read the code from your GitHub repositories. You can choose whether you want to give access to all the repositories or only select repository. I'm gonna say select repositories, and then I'm gonna choose one of my application called password generator. So this application basically helps generate random passwords. So I'm gonna give access to this particular repository. I will say install and authorize. So now Google Jules has access to my code repository. Now let us close this. Let us go back to Jules site, and once you refresh the page, you should be able to see the repository automatically showing up here. If you have given access to multiple repositories, from this drop down you will be able to choose the right repository to work with. Also, you can choose the GitHub branch on which Jules should work. I do not want Jules to work on dev. I have created a separate branch called feature Jules. I'm gonna ask Jules to work on this. So this application, as I said, helps create random passwords. I'm gonna ask Jules to upgrade this application and do basically two things. So I have given two additional requirements to Google Jules. First is I'm asking Jules to upgrade my application to provide an additional functionality to check strength of the password. And I'm also asking it to add unit test cases. So once I type in my prompt, I can say give me a plan. So make sure you provide detailed prompts as possible. If you do not give well-structured, clear prompts, Google Jules can make mistakes. So I think whatever I have given now, it's good enough to start with. I'm gonna say give me a plan. So now Google Jules is gonna go understand my code, and then it is going to analyze it completely and then get back with a response. So it is asking me if it can send me notifications. I'm gonna enable it. So it will continually tell you what different steps it is taking. As of now, it is cloning my repository. As you can see, I am accessing Google Jules from my browser. I am not using any of my local softwares. I am not using any software, memory or storage from my laptop machine. So Google Jules completely works in a separate virtual machine which has been created for me. So for every request, when me or anyone is working on a task with Google Jules, it goes ahead and creates a new virtual environment or a virtual machine where it will clone our code, make all the changes, verify it and push to Git right from there. So now we have the plan from Google Jules. We can review the plan and then we can approve it. Also, as you can see here, the plan auto approves in 2 minutes. Now we have 1 minute 20 seconds left. Let us quickly verify the plan. First, it is going to define strength criteria and implement a method called check password strength. It is going to return weak, medium, strong based on these criteria. That is good. Next, in the main function, it is going to integrate password strength checking as well. Right? After a password is generated, it is going to call this method and then display the strength as well. And it is also going to add an option in the main menu to allow users to input a password and check its strength. Wonderful. This is exactly what I wanted. And it is also going to add unit test cases for check password strength, right? And then it is going to submit the changes. Now I can either approve the plan or I can ask it to make some changes. So I'm basically asking Jules to add unit test cases for the existing methods also. So I did not approve the plan. I have given an additional feedback to Jules. Let us see how it is processing my request. Now it is saying it is thanking for the feedback. And then it has given an updated plan. Now you see an additional step, add unit test for existing generate password function as well. Wonderful. Now this plan looks good to me. I'm gonna go ahead and approve this plan. So once I approve this plan, this Google Jules can work asynchronously. So what does that mean? I don't need to wait in this page for Google Jules to do some work. I can navigate, I can concentrate on my other coding tasks, I can concentrate on different projects what I'm working. How much of a time this is gonna take, Google Jules is gonna do the job behind scenes. So Google Jules, once it completes the work, it will send me a notification saying, hey, all the changes are done. It will also submit the changes to the GitHub as well. So once it is done, I can go to GitHub, review it, and then approve or provide feedback to Jules right from this window. As Google Jules is working on different steps, here you can see it is showing me that it has updated the password generate.py, and then it is further working on integrating the password strength checking and stuff like that. As it is doing, right here in the same screen, it is also showing me the code of the files which are being changed. I can see the latest file as of now so that I can have a tab of what is going on. If I feel like Google Jules is doing something wrong, I can provide that command right here. Google Jules will take a pause, it will review my feedback, it will update the plan, present an updated plan to me, and then continue working. You need not wait for Google Jules to complete the whole task. You can provide intermediate feedback whenever required. So this is the really awesome feature of Jules, where it is giving you live update of what is going on, which file is getting updated, what step currently it is working at, and things like that. So here, as you can see now, it tried to execute the unit test cases and then it failed. Here it is also showing you what assertion failed and all of that. So it is going to now work on basically further fixing these unit test cases or the code itself, and we should be getting that update right in the screen in a short while. So now the code is updated further. We have the unit test cases which has passed. So it has created 3 test files as I can see, and all of them has completed. So here I can see multiple files what it is creating within that window. Here is my test case. Wonderful. So all of these files are getting live streamed from the virtual machine what Google Jules has created for me. I can also look at it in the full screen. Here you can see the complete project structure, different files you can click here, and then you can see what changes have been made. Really wonderful. So the left hand side is the existing file and the right hand side shows whatever changes Google Jules has made. As you can go to the test file, you can see the existing is empty. It has created this whole new file where it has added 3 test case methods. Wonderful. Let us go back to the main screen. Now it is working on adding unit test cases for the existing function. Google Jules was able to finally prepare the unit test cases for the existing methods as well. Again, similar to the previous one, there was errors when it tried to initially execute the unit test cases. There was some failures, but it was able to fix it, and then the subsequent run completed. And it has created 16 different test cases, and I have taken a look at the files as well. It has considered all the possible different scenarios to ensure thorough unit testing is in place. Google Jules really did a great job in understanding and identifying all the different scenarios and adding unit test cases for all of them. I can see how helpful, how impactful it is gonna be for all of us software developers, where we love to do the coding, where we love to do the coding of all the complex parts, but we do not like creating unit test cases. Things like Google Jules or OpenAI Codex can exactly solve that problem. I think exciting times ahead. Now after this, Google Jules has already created a new branch out of the branch what I provided, and here is the summary. It is saying this commit is bringing all of these changes, what features it is adding, what testing it has done, and stuff like that. I should be able to click on publish branch. That will push all of the code what Google Jules has created here, and it is gonna push it completely into the GitHub repository. From there, I should be able to review the code, create a PR, give comments if any right here in this command. So let me click on view branch. So here is the thing. Let me go ahead, try to create a pull request, and then we can take a look at what changes has been created by Google Jules. So here it has created a new method. Good thing it has added really good code documentation as well on exactly what it is trying to do. And it has made some changes to the existing method to check the password strength and all of that stuff. It has created a new file for adding all of the unit test cases. It has added different unit test cases for the existing method and also the newly created method. Wonderful. So one thing what I see is some of these test methods do not have a comment. exactly stating what it is testing. The method names are self-explanatory, but it would be really good if all of these test cases or this test method had comment explaining what it is doing. So that is one nitpicking what I would do here. So what I will do, probably I will go back to the Jules screen. So basically I am asking Jules to add comments to all the new test methods explaining what scenario it is testing for, what scenario it is targeting. And I'm also asking to ensure that there are no piloting issues. Let us hit it and let us see how Google Jules could handle our request. Meanwhile, anytime if you want Google Jules to stop processing, there is a pause button what you see here. You would be able to pause and then later resume if you want. So Google Jules will be able to manage the state, recreate the virtual machine and continue from where it left. And as it is thinking, let us talk about few other factors. As Google Jules has been recently launched, it is open and free for all of us to use. In the free tier account, I think we can do only 2 or 3 tasks in a day. Like what I'm doing now is one task inside which I am asking it to do a set of code changes or feature changes. This whole thing is considered one task. That similar to this, I can create 2 or 3 tasks a day within the free limit, and in future there is going to be paid tiers where you will get access to more and more tasks within a day. So here is the plan what it is creating. Now it is going to add comments to the test methods, it is going to run Pilot and fix any reported issues, and then it is going to submit the changes. So Jules made 2 different changes. One is updated my test file. Now it has added comments into each and every test method to explain in detail exactly what it is testing for. As you can see in the right side of the screen, for every method it has added comments on explaining what scenario it is testing. Wonderful. First task of what I asked that has been completed. The second ask of mine was to ensure that there are no piloting issues. Jules automatically went ahead and installed the necessary libraries and then it triggered the pilot as well. So based on the pilot score, it made multiple rounds of changes and the score of my code gradually kept increasing from something like 2.5 out of 10 to eventually reach something like 9.6 out of 10. So Jules did multiple attempts to fix all the changes and finally it has fixed everything, and here is a complete summary of what it has made changes. Wonderful, and here it is also telling how much time it took in total. So for the complete task, what it has been working so far today, right from adding this functionality to reach till here, it took around 15 minutes. That is completely fine considering it was working asynchronously. I did not have to wait. I was able to parallelly do other works. Let me publish it further and then we can go back and review the pull request what we have to take one additional look at the changes what has been proposed by Jules. So here you can see it has basically added multiple different methods and everything. It has made lot of changes to avoid code linting issues, piloting issues. And here these are the changes into my test file where it has added comments for all of the test methods and again some changes to address the piloting issues. Really good. Overall, I'm happy with the changes what Google Jules has made. So further from here, we can merge this branch, we can execute the code, and if there are any issues, we will be able to go back and ask Jules to fix it right from here.
I hope you got a good glimpse of how Google Jules work. Honestly, I love it. I love the UI, I love the feel of it, I love how we work with it. I was very excited working with Google Jules, to be honest. But let us quickly review and compare it with other existing tools. So here on the left hand side, we have tools like GitHub Copilot and stuff. On the right hand side, we have something like Jules. Let us look at the differences. First thing, GitHub Copilot, it works from your local machine itself. In your laptop or your desktop computer, that is where it works from. In case of products like Google Jules, it runs your code in a separate virtual machine which it launches in cloud. Second thing, in case of Copilot, it's a synchronous way of working. The Copilot is suggesting some changes, you apply it, you test it, and then you ask Copilot again. So there is a lot of interaction, lot of to and fro communication happening synchronously between you and Copilot. In case of Jules, it is completely asynchronous. It is automated. It can do everything on its own, like how we saw. It could save a lot of your time. Step number 3, there is a lot of manual review steps you can do in case of GitHub Copilot. Everything what Copilot is suggesting, you can review them, you can decide whether you want to implement it or not, you can make changes and stuff. In case of Google Jules, it is all automated for good. But if you still want to review it, you can definitely do it. You might have seen how we were able to do that. Number 4, this is something not so great I would say about Google Jules. In case if you are using GitHub Copilot, you don't need to give direct access to your GitHub repository as such, or if you are using Cursor AI, you don't need to give a complete access to your repository, all the different branches and stuff, because it can sit in your IDE in your local machine and then it can work. But in case of Jules, your code repository must be in GitHub. As of today, it supports integration only with GitHub, and the last one is basically if you are using GitHub Copilot, you will be able to directly make code contributions and changes in between the overall flow. If Copilot is suggesting 3 or 4 different changes, you should be able to go in and push some of your change. That is not possible in case of Jules. You have to give suggestion to Jules, hey, you are making this mistake, please fix this and stuff like that. You cannot get in and directly push a code change in between. So that is a quick look at how you can use Google Jules to improve your work efficiency, how you can make AI do your job while you are focusing on other things which you would love to do. Maybe there is some part of your whole work which you would love to do, and there is something which you do not love. Let Google Jules handle that and you focus on what you love. I hope you liked this video. Please subscribe to our channel so that you continue getting such wonderful, informative videos right in your mailbox. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you in the next video.